Hello everyone, so I'm super excited because today we're actually going to be having our very first favorites video. And so I've been kind of promising this for a while. I already shot this video a while back, but then there were some technical issues. In the end, I didn't even like it anymore, so I decided to just redo the whole thing. So that's what you're watching right now. So basically what's going to be happening in this video is I'm just going to go through some basic things that every activist most likely will end up using in his or her career. So it's not for one specific cause, but it's just as an activist in general. So we're going to actually start out with some books because I personally believe that reading books before you really get into your cause is a good way to educate yourself and to gain more knowledge. So the first book we're actually going to be looking at is Do Hard Things and Start Here by Alex and Brett Harris. These books are absolutely amazing because they challenge you to go beyond the world's expectations. And so life-changing things, they're often exciting. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing book. I read it so many times because it's so full of ideas, so full of wisdom and advice. Guys, I recommend these books. Also, make sure that you check out their blog. I think if you just type in Do Hard Things and The Revolution online, you should be able to find that pretty easily. Again, it's Do Hard Things and Start Here by Alex and Brett Harris. Okay, so we're going to move on. And the other book that I recommend is Crazy Busy by Kevin DeYoung. Now, this might not seem like something that necessarily has to do with the work of an activist, but trust me, it is. I'm assuming that most of us are not able to be pro-life activists or anti-slavery activists full time. For me, for example, I have to do school because I'm a senior in high school. So I have to do school and chores and all these different things with my family, which is amazing in God's work. But that also sometimes challenges me because I don't necessarily have time to do everything that I want to do as an activist. And so this book really helps you find more time. It's not necessarily a how-to book, but the author, Kevin DeYoung, he does an amazing job challenging you to take a look at your time, to make sure that you're really using your time efficiently and to the best of its use and not just wasting it and throwing it away without even realizing it. So again, I really, really recommend this book. All three of these books, guys. You should check them out. So yeah. Also, in the future, I'm considering doing some book reviews. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Alright, so we're going to move on now to Generations for Life Pro-Life Club Curriculum. Now, I was a little unsure about recommending this at first because there is some content in here I did not necessarily agree with or I did not even find helpful, but at the same time, guys, a majority of this is really helpful, especially if you're trying to start a pro-life club. Now, if you are pro-life and by yourself inside your own little city, I understand how that feels. So what I suggest you guys to do is to just like wait a few weeks because I'm actually working on a movement specifically for teenagers who want to be actively pro-life but don't necessarily know how to do it because there's nobody around them who's really interested, or maybe it's just like one other person. And it's hard to start a club or a pro-life group or to get anything done when it's just you in your own little town. And what I'd like to tell you guys is that there's a lot that you can do, but I can't give you away all the details yet. That's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, so this pro-life curriculum is really helpful. There are, again, some things that I don't necessarily agree with, so I would suggest reading this with care. I was actually given this for free when I started out the Teenage Life Club, which is my pro-life group. We were doing our letter campaign, and someone just gave it to me. So that was very sweet of them, guys. Thank you. Shout out to Generations for Life. Just check out their website. I'm sure they'll have it here. It just has a lot of helpful content. So the thing that I actually found really helpful, it like helps you to get started. It gives you some basic facts about abortion. It helps you have some ideas for activism and outreach. There are some supplements, some tips. There is some graphic images, but besides that, I think this is a really good resource. All right. So the last two resources, no, I have way more, never mind. Okay, so the other ones, I totally suggest having some propaganda so that you guys can just go out. You don't necessarily have time to go into like talk to every single person for long periods of time about what you believe. So sometimes the best thing to do is to leave something behind for them to be able to go online and to find out more themselves. So I have three different ones here. The first one is from Abort 73. They have like these really pretty drop cards. They also have these in t-shirt form and as bracelets and also as pins, which I have a couple upstairs. I don't know why I didn't bring them down. But these are really amazing because they're really good at catching your eye, but the idea is not necessarily to like convince someone through a drop card, which I feel like some drop cards seem to be trying to do that, and that's not super effective. But what's really effective is that this catches your eye, and then it has the URL at the bottom where people can look it up online as soon as they're home, even on their phone if it's with them. And that's like really a good way to get people to resources that should help them learn more about the issue of abortion. I also have one here against human trafficking. This one is more educational, and this one's more like raising awareness. And so here, actually, I would say that they're both actually educational and raising awareness, just one's more so than the other. Here it says 7 facts about human trafficking. Um, it just helps people. You can just pick it up, you just quickly read through them, and there's some things that even I didn't know. For example, number 6 says an estimated 100,000 children are sex trafficked in the U.S. every single year. So I did not know that before I heard about this group. They're called Speak Up Revolution. Again, they have a URL at the bottom. That way that people, they can read this, be like, I want to do something about it, and then they have a website to go to. So these are two drop card sort of things that I recommend using. Another one is, this one's not cut out, that's why I have scissors there, is from a group called Abolish Human Abortion. Now they have amazing, amazing pro-life gear, so if you're interested, check them out. Just look up Abolish Human Abortion, you'll find them. And one of my favorite things about them is their propaganda wall, because even though I love their drop cards, I don't really have money right now, so I can't like just go and buy it. So what I do is I use their flyers. Here's 2 of them. I like to use the ones that don't have way too much ink, because I feel kind of bad for my parents printing out tons of these. So basically, like, it like challenges you, not just people who are pro-choice, but people who are pro-life and don't do anything about it. It just brings the basics of abortion, and it really clarifies it, and it helps to bring it into the world. They all have the symbol of AHA, which is Abolish Human Abortion, so that I think part of their goal is to help people to get used to this sign, to know what it means, to just recognize the fact that abortion is present in the United States today. So I would cut these out, and then one paper gives you 4. I always do in like smaller sizes, and then I would just leave them behind everywhere. And they are really, I really, really like these. So again, Abolish Human Abortion, I suggest checking these out. Okay, so the final one is actually just a coin jar. So I mean, I get the whole thing where like you're supposed to be trusting in God and He gives you all of your resources, and that is true. But you also need to fund yourself as a human rights activist. And if you're like me, you might not have a lot of money or any money really to yourself. So what I suggest is, for those situations whenever you do need funds, is to just have a coin jar and just bring it to your church. Maybe leave it in your room. Every time you have extra change, put it in here. Every time you can ask people at your church if they have extra change for them to put in the jar. It adds up. Right now it doesn't have a whole lot in it because I actually just used it to send a bunch of pro-life letters to the White House. So we paid for the stamps and the paper and the ink and all that good stuff. So I suggest finding a nice giant coin jar. Mine says for the needy on it. That kind of helps to spread it out. It's not just pro-life, it's not just this, it's not just that. One time we even used it to help pay for a man who his car broke down and he couldn't afford to fix it, but he wanted to come to church. So we paid for it was like $50 in here, and with just coins we helped him pay for his car parts. And so it can just be for anything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. These are just some basic things that you guys can use as you begin to be an activist of any sort, even as you continue if you've already started. I hope you found this helpful, especially for all you people who are against human trafficking, who are pro-life activists. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this video, if you think I should do more of this in the future. Also, be sure to check out my last video, which was a daily vlog. I don't know if I'm going to continue with those or not, because they were easy to make in a way, but I felt like they were kind of boring and unhelpful. Let me know what you think about those as well, because you guys' feedback is kind of what shapes this whole thing, and since I'm still new, I'm still trying to figure things out. Okay, I think that's all that I have for now. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye!